Prices for Japanese Pokemon products are going up fast, and it's not because of the hype around the new sets, maybe partially, but it's mainly because of the state of the US economy and the tariffs that were just put in place. And if you import, resell, or stock Japanese products or any other imported products, you need to hear this. Before I get into it, I'm just going to preface this now. This is not any type of political video or anything like that. I'm not going to really talk about that side of things. I'm basically just going to sit here and we're going to talk about the numbers and strategies that you can use as a seller and even a buyer to weather the storm, I guess you would say. As I'm sure you already heard, the US has just rolled out tariffs on imports from Japan, China, and pretty much the world. So if you're sourcing sealed boxes, accessories, any types of products like that from overseas, it's probably going to be costing you more. Even if you buy from US sellers, it's probably still going to cost you more. I'm going to talk about what tariffs are, how they impact the market, what impact we're already seeing on the market and prices overseas, and also some ideas that might help you reduce the impact to your business. Simply put, tariffs are basically taxes on imported goods, which means you as a seller will be paying more. And if you're a consumer, unfortunately, that also means you'll be paying more as well. It's just how it works. Unfortunately, sellers taking those hits just puts you in a bad place as a seller for business and probably will put you out of business. Think brands like Walmart that just say, oh yeah, we'll take that hit and you guys keep on getting those savings. No, they pay the price increase and then they just make those adjustments on their products that they sell back to us, and they just keep it moving, right? That's just how it works. Sadly, the tariffs are not where it ends. After the news of tariffs came out, we started seeing the stock market, the US market, just pretty much start crashing. And that also includes the US dollar, or the value of the US dollar, I should say. What does that mean? Well, I know some of you have already noticed the price in Japan for products, if you buy directly from Japan, have started to go up because you've mentioned it to me. And the reason for that and what that means is because our US dollar value is going down, we're paying more after conversion. I mean, even after I was looking just a little bit ago from some of my suppliers, like and just other places in general, I'm not even able to find a case of Glory of Team Rocket for like under $2,000, and that's 12 boxes, so it's like $160 a box or something like that. And honestly, I'll be surprised if that doesn't even go up by the release date, depending on how things go over the next week or so. And that's even before we factor in shipping. For easy numbers, we'll say $2,000 a case, right? If we're looking at just a plain 10% tariff fee or import fee or whatever you want to call it, that's an extra $200. That's $2,200 for a case. Now we're almost looking at $200 a box. My opinion, I'm thinking that by the time this is released and we're buying them in the US, I honestly am thinking on conservatively, we're looking at $230 to $250 a box of Team Rocket, right? So we'll see how it plays out, but that's kind of what I'm guessing where things are going to be as of today, right? By the time we hit the release day and you get it here to the US, I'm guessing we're going to be looking at retail or end consumer price about $230 to $250 a box. Now, for my fellow sellers who purchase directly from Japan like I do, you need to be careful and make sure you listen to what I'm going to talk about next. The reason I need you to pay attention is because you don't get charged tariffs at the time of purchase. So if you're thinking you found a supply or you got your order in already and you're like, yes, I'm getting my box for 2,000 shipped and it'll be here the day before release or whatever it is you have going on, you need to think again about that. Take a look and do your own research, because you don't pay tariffs at the time of shipment or at the time of purchase. You pay your tariffs when the product gets into the US and clears customs. Then you'll probably get an invoice from your carrier if you use DHL or FedEx or something like that for the tariff cost. And then once that gets paid, it will be released and delivered to you. Now, in some cases, you get lucky. I mean, by lucky, I mean more of a convenience, which is your end delivery service is sometimes the post office, depending on how you pay for your shipping. And in which case, you still have to pay. You just pay, most of the time, you pay upon delivery. So the post office come and be like, hey, you owe us $200 for this case. And make sure you factor that in when you are making your purchases. Because, again, if you go out and you're like, well, I can get them right now, or I already got them. I get 3 cases for $6,000 shipped. And then it gets here and you owe another $600 that you don't have, that's going back. You're not getting that. Be aware, know your stuff, do your research, and figure out what it is and how it's going to impact you specifically. Do your own research. I suggest everybody go out and do their own research, especially at a time like this, because you need to be paying attention to your business, the details, the numbers. You need to be analyzing everything and be on top of it. There's something called the de minimis exemption. I believe it is called de minimis. That sounds about right. And typically, this allows shipments that are under $800 in value to be exempt from getting charged tariffs. And as far as I know, that's still in place. I did see something about maybe that being removed or on pause or something like that in the near future. So if you are planning on going that route and just keeping your orders under $800, if the numbers work, is what I'm saying, go ahead, go for it. But just keep an eye out of whether or not that's going to be suspended. It's just something to think about as you go forward with your business. You take a step back and you really look at this, right? The value of the US dollar is down. Our fees are going up. So you're purchasing for more. You're paying more fees on top. Make no mistake about where we are at. Japanese, Chinese, Korean, the TCG market, if imported TCGs are going to be costing us more. And as a seller, you really need to start preparing for this now. It's tough markets like these that really cause businesses to close their doors. And if you're serious about your business, you need to be able to see what's coming, and you need to be able to adapt and pivot as needed. Start looking at this now, make a plan ahead of time before it's too late. Now, that being said, I did put together a few ideas to throw out there to help either offset your costs or adjust. So you need to be prepared is what I'm saying. Protect your margins, protect your business, and plan ahead. Things like this happen and you really don't notice how bad it is until it's too late. If you're someone who does order from Japan, you know that obviously the more you buy, the more you save on shipping. So if you're someone who places like multiple orders or restock orders from Japan, like let's say in a week, and let's say you pay, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks in shipping every shipment. You're paying that easy numbers, let's say $50 a shipment, it's $150. And for the same product, if you place one big order, you could probably only end up paying like maybe, I don't know, $60, $70 in shipping. And so if you're able to work it out where you can plan ahead better and just restock once in that time frame or something like that. In addition to that, every Japanese distributor that I've worked with will usually order discounts and larger orders. Instead of placing those orders over a week span, let's say, you can aggregate those all together, work with your distributor and say, hey, look, I'm going to start placing larger orders. Is there any way you can give me some type of discount, or we can work something out on a deal? I mean, even if you save like $40, a week on shipping and maybe another 10% discount, you're probably not going to be able to offset the tariffs and the increase in price. So you got to work with getting the little small wins and add them all up to help account for this. Try to work with maybe an LGS, right? You can aggregate your orders. If they place a lot of big orders from Japan already, they're hurting too. They're feeling this, right? They're going to be having to raise their prices and go through all the same stuff we are. And if you have good business with them or you've worked with them in the past, go in there, talk to them, say, hey, look, I'm going to be placing some larger orders. Maybe I can, get in on your orders with you and we can split some costs together, maybe cover some of the shipping in general, right? And if it's worth it, you work the numbers out and you look, hey, you're going to save more money this way, then go that route. You can also try and aggregate your orders within a community. I mean, typically it's probably only going to work best if it's like a local community, right? Like if you have people that live around you and also sell like Japanese or whatever, you can kind of all get together, pay one shipping fee. You might be able to get a discount and you'll pay less shipping, and then you guys all get your product. Now, if you'd rather not deal with all the BS, like worrying about tariffs and logistics of getting your stuff here and doing all the math, you can find yourself a decent US-based retailer who does import from Japan. And yes, they're going to pass the cost on to you as well. That's the whole point of it, right? Is the end consumer ends up paying the cost. If you start thinking big picture, not small, you can find a place that maybe offers some reward points or loyalty program or anything like that, and you'll probably end up paying more on that first couple orders or whatever. But if you can get yourself to a place where you're earning like a discount on every order, or you get rewards points that you can then cash in on your future orders, it might be worth it. Something else you can think about is trying to save money elsewhere. Maybe bulk order supplies, shipping supplies, packing supplies, top loaders, things like that. You can bulk order these things and save money there. We're thinking big picture, not small picture. If you're profit margins are going to shrink somewhere, you got to make up for it somewhere else. If you're able to get those things in place now and, across the board, maybe increase your profits 5% now, and then you start getting hit with these tariffs or taxes or whatever the case is, that's already offsetting some of that cost. Something else you might want to look at is try thinking about switching up your business model. You can try English products. Good luck, especially in the Pokemon world, but look at changing it up, right? Try different TCGs. It's been hard to get reliable product. I mean, even if you get your pre-orders, your allocations in, right? I get allocations. Usually, I get more than some people I know. So I'm happy with that. But as far as like being able to continuously have product in stock, it's not happening. It's hard to get the English product sourced properly on a continuous basis. And that's one thing about having a retail or reseller business. You have to be able to keep product in stock. Like I said, maybe looking at different TCGs, maybe new TCGs that are coming out. I pivoted with the Pokemon stuff. I pivoted back to Metazoo. Metazoo was coming out. Grabbed a bunch of Metazoo. I started making that happen. I've been looking into getting partnered up with Veefriends. I picked up a few other things. I'm getting on Y Swartz, and I'm bringing in other different TCGs that seem to be doing well or on the rise. And as much as I love Pokemon, it'll be there when the market starts to calm down, and I still will try to sell and get as much as I can. I'm running a business and I'm growing a business at the end of the day. So I can't rely just on one product that may or may not be available or may not be overpriced or cost too much to import. So you have to be able to look at your opportunities that are available to you now and be able to adjust as needed. I mean, I know a few people that have already started switching up their model. They started doing more of grabbing a bunch of singles, getting them graded, going to cons, selling them on eBay, selling just slabs straight up for the profits. those are things you can look into. You need to try to offset your balance books, because if you start taking L's somewhere, you got to make up for it somewhere else. So if I have cash sitting there and I'm not able to stock Pokemon, I'm not going to just want to let that sit there. I'm going to try to find other opportunities like I did to be able to put that money to work. Got to keep the cash flow going, because at the end of the day, it's a business. Do I love Pokemon? You're damn right I love Pokemon. I can love Pokemon all I want, but if I'm not making money, I'm not going to be able to enjoy Pokemon as a hobby. You have to look at these things holistically and figure out, is this what you want to do? Do you want to ride this wave? Do you want to make it go? Some people, this is not for them. This grind that we're about to see, if things continue the way they are, it's going to be hard. A lot of businesses are going to shut down. This is just what happens. When you look at the 2008 housing crisis, there's like half the real estate companies in the fucking country closed. It is what it is. And this is just business. There's ups, there's down. I don't see it getting better anytime soon. There's a lack of supply on the English side, and we're going to have a huge lack of supply on the imported side. Doesn't matter if you're running Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Indonesian, it's all going to cost more. So you have to plan for that and figure out a way to move forward. If you just want to adjust your prices and pass that on to the consumer, you can do that too. I'm going to definitely be adjusting my prices. You guys know me. I'll try to make the savings as good as I can for the buyers, but at the end of the day, I can't give you those savings if I don't have a business. Find better ways to lower your CAC or your customer acquisition cost. You're saving a little bit of money there. It's going to be hard to do with the way prices are, but if you can increase the long-term value of a customer, your CAC may stay the same or go up a little bit, but your LTV will increase. And therefore, again, big picture, you're going to make some more money, or at least not lose money. If you wanted to, you can start doing your own loyalty programs, or you can do your own bulk orders. You'll make less of a profit margin off of it, but you'll be able to move more product and keep that profit coming. Because if the product is sitting there, it's even worse than having the cash sitting. If you are able to do that, if you have lots of product, then maybe that's an option for you. You can maybe also start reaching out to other sellers. Reach out to sellers, who are smaller, bigger streamers, right? That are looking for those deals. I work with other sellers and stuff all the time. As long as I can afford to do it and I have the product, I work with other people. I give them bulk order discounts, and yes, I make a smaller margin on it, but I'm still able to make a margin. So it's a win-win. And again, you'll still at least be able to make some money and move product. And if you're, a loyalty program, if you can set that up and find a way to make that work where it's not going to hurt your numbers, that's worth looking into as well. You need to be able to plan ahead and pivot. I know this is like the recurring theme I keep saying, but it's true, right? You have to plan ahead if you want your business to survive. Unless something makes a drastic change, I don't foresee our situation changing anytime soon. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a political expert. I follow enough to know what's going to impact me and my business. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if things are going to get worse. Tariffs are going to get rolled back. I don't know if they're going to get raised. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen with the market, the US market. Is the value the US dollar going to go back up? Is it going to stay down? Is it going to get worse? These are things that we can't predict. So we need to be prepared for any situation and try to plan ahead to be able to overcome anything like that. At the end of the day, it's just math, right? You need to be able to make more than you spend, and that includes your operating costs, your whatever your cost of living is, if you're taking money from your business, your products, all that, right? Including the tariffs and all that stuff. If you can plan ahead, you should be good. I'm not saying if things continue the way they are, you're just gonna be sitting here rolling in the dough like fucking what's his name, the McDuck or whatever, there's a Scrooge McDuck, the billionaire fucking from whatever, man. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But if you can do good enough where you can grow and weather the storm while you're growing in a market like this, then when the market comes back, you're going to be killing it. Because one, let's be honest, you're going to have less competition out there, right? There's going to be a lot of people who are either unfortunately not able to figure it out or not able to overcome it, whatever, adjust, pivot, whatever you want to say. Maybe they're just getting started and it's just a horrible time to get started, right? And they're not going to be there when all this is over. And that's the sad truth. Like if you take the example I used earlier with the real estate market, the housing market was fucked up, right? And tons of real estate companies and agents, they're gone, like half of them. But when the market came back, those people who made it through, they had so much more business. They already knew how to really manage their business so well to be able to pivot, account, look at their numbers, analyze, keep those profit margins long enough. They had everything dialed in. And when the market came back, they're crushing it, throwing, making it left and right, rolling in the dough. Then they're looking like Scrooge McDuck. And it's the same thing here. If you can do that well with your business, and by well, I mean make enough to keep afloat, support yourself, and still be able to kind of grow your business when the market is bad, then when the market comes back and there's a demand and there's money there, right? And your prices are and your cost is lower, you're going to find a way to just crush it and expand your margins beyond belief, while still, hopefully, you have integrity, right? And you can still start to work something out and make your buyers and consumers happy as well. You know, I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer here, but it's just the way business is. This is economics, right? Things are good, things are bad. It goes up and down. And right now, we're in a bad time. And you can sit here and you can blame whoever the hell you want. You can blame Biden. You can blame Trump. You can blame fucking Korea. You can blame China. You can blame whoever you want for your mess. At the end of the day, it's on you, because blaming them is not going to get you anywhere. Blaming whoever the fuck you want for your situation that you're in, what is it going to do? You're just going to complain. And you're going to have people listen to you complain. And yeah, there's going to be other people complaining. There's going to be people willing to listen to you. But at the end of the day, sitting there listening to somebody complain over and over and over, especially if you're not taking action, that's not anything that I don't think anybody wants to hear, or at least most people. You got to take responsibility, take accountability, right? Yes, these things are happening. It is what it is. Accept it, blow some steam off, and plan your way forward. Because if you don't, you're just going to be complaining the whole time. And the people who plan ahead, the sellers who plan ahead and adjust and try to make it through and make their business work, they're going to be successful as fuck. And you're just going to still be there complaining. And do you think that if there's somebody who was able to weather the storm and to grow and to make it through and be successful during a time like that, do you think they're going to want to sit there and listen to you complain about it? Because you've been complaining since before it started, during, and now after. And you're nowhere where you should be, right? You probably lost your money, your inventory, your investment, and it's fucked up. I know it is. I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but it's in your hands at the end of the day. There's nobody that's going to come in and save you. There's nobody that's going to hand you. We're not, the fucking banks. We're not going to get a bailout, right? We're not, like, that's just not how it works, right? And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. There's no shame in that, right? No shame in going and getting a job, right? No shame in closing down your doors. Don't complain and not do a thing about it. That's the problem, right? If you're going to complain, be willing to do something about it. If not, decide what you're going to do next.